Hey there. Hey there. So, welcome to camp. Camp GBC. All right. So, this is our, obviously, our first day of our big adventure. And we are welcoming everybody to our new location. We'll be here for a little bit, at least for the month of December. And so today we're going a little bit low tech. We're not going to have the microphone and speakers. We'll have all that next week. We're just recording today. We're not live streaming. And I'll edit the video and get it up online later. So if you have people that normally watch it live stream, you can tell them it's going to be up later today. I'll get it up there as soon as I can. But we're just wanted to see how things worked out. So hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm trying to speak up a little loud. You won't have any problem hearing Randy. He's used to being loud. I'll do a few of our normal announcements first, and then I want to talk about some things here. So we have December birthdays. We have Pam Bennett on the 1st. Happy birthday, Pam. 22. Jenny's birthday was yesterday, and Rachel's birthday is coming up. So happy birthday to all the December birthdays. And there's cake. Looks like y'all already found the cake. Cookies.
It was delicious, Sherry.
Yes, thank you, Sherry. And so things aren't all that different, right? So we have birthdays, we have cake, and we have all of us. We have round tables. So this is great. All right, so if you're wondering where bathrooms are, in case you don't know, there's a bathroom in the back there behind my dad, back there. And there's a bathroom down this hallway in the rooms. And so you can just go in those dorm room situations, and there's bathrooms in there as well. And there's bathrooms down this hallway, but that one's kind of blocked right now, so I wasn't trying to use that one. But there's plenty of bathrooms if you need a bathroom. Any other housekeeping type announcements? Coffee, we've got coffee, all kinds of coffee back there.
Hot water for tea.
Hot water for tea. All right. Thank you to the parking guys. You guys did a great job this morning. Really appreciate you. And this is also Advent. So I will light last week's candle of hope. And this week is joy. I was thinking about John 1:14 this morning, and it's kind of a Christmassy verse, and I think it actually really applies to our situation. It says, "And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we have seen his glory, glory as of the only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth." And the Word became flesh, and that, so God's Son, the Word, he became flesh, and he dwelt among us. And that word there, dwelt among us, is he tabernacled. That's the Greek word for tabernacled. So he literally, what the meaning there is, so there's a lot of depth to that word of tabernacle. You know, in the Old Testament, the tabernacle was a symbol of God's presence among his people. But we're here to camp. And so God came and he camped with his people in a tent. But his presence was with him. And God's presence is here with us. And we are his tabernacle collectively as his people. And so that verse was just really on my mind a lot, and I think it's really meaningful for us. And I just want to share that with you. All right, let's pray. Father God, thank you for Grace Bible Church. I thank you for this new place that you've brought to us. I thank you for Camp Christian and for Eric and their willingness to provide a place for us to land while we figure out where you're taking us. And we don't know how long we'll be here, but we know you're here with us. And this is a comfortable, warm place to meet. It's very nice, and we just appreciate it, Lord. And Lord, even more than that, we appreciate your spirit, your presence being here. Lord, we're at a camp, and you came and you camped with your people. Your presence is here, and it's just so meaningful this time of year to dwell on that, to think about that. And I just pray for this service this morning. It's new, it's different, and yet there are familiar elements. And I thank you that things continue. And while things are different for us, we can look back through the ages at your people who have gathered for centuries around your name and your presence and your Son. And we are doing the same thing. There's people all over the world gathering around these same things. And it's just an honor to be a part of your family. And we thank you that you sent Jesus to provide a way for us to be a part of your family. And I just pray for this service this morning that you would attune all of our hearts to you. And I pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
David, I just want to say I'm so grateful for this church and very humble by how good it's been.
We're grateful you're here. We're grateful for you.
David, what about, we have potluck next Sunday?
Yes, we do. You don't.
Yeah.
Get that one.
Yep, forgot that one. Yeah, so next Sunday is third Sunday, and we are going to have a potluck. So it'll be here, and we have the building for longer than our normal time, so we've got enough time to have the potluck. So bring your favorite foods to share. I don't think there's a theme. Are we doing a theme?
No.
Okay. No theme.
If we can eat, that'd be good.
Yeah. So bring your favorite food to share, and we'll have a meal here in this building.
Cool.
So, anything else?
All right, died out real quick.
All right.
Grab
We do have, I don't know if you look through those cabinets, but there's everything. I mean, there's glasses and plates and silverware and stuff.
We didn't have to bring food.
Yeah, all that stuff's back there. We've got the whole team that's gonna, the hospitality team has things already packed up. A lot of that's in storage, but we're sorting like these black, when you see the black and yellow tubs, that's stuff that's gonna come out of the trailer. We have a new trailer. It's, right now, Dave and Charlene's house, but it will haul all of that stuff and all the tech stuff we had at church, the other building, it will be hauled down here on that thing, and it'll be set so we can haul all the things we need to do church with in there. So if you see the black and yellow, that means that goes to the trailer, just in case you see one laying around when we're leaving sometime. It goes back in the trailer, it comes out of the trailer. That's the Sunday morning mobile church stuff. So it looks like that. The main thing is those are on sale at Lowe's in that color this week. So they are the thing. They are our church, mobile church thing. So we've got we have, just in case you didn't know this, we have this from 9 till noon on normal days. Next week we get it longer. Christmas Eve we get it all day too. But anytime we go longer than that period of time, either early or late, outside of that range, there's a fee, just so you know. So Eric talked to me about that. Said, you had some people show up earlier. Yes, we did. Well, you know, and I do know. We'll pay whatever. So anyway, we're good. But just so you know, that's how it actually is those times. And we'll work with them, and if we need longer, we can get 4 hours. We'll renegotiate, but at this point, that's our deal. So this is the room. It has benefits. The other building, this is the newest, about 2 years old. The other ones are, as you can see, much older block buildings, and they're really great for summer camps for the kids. And this thing packs out, and they have tons of stuff during the year. It's people come and rent it for weekend retreats for their churches and things. So this is a really popular one. I bet you can guess why. So part of our deal, we got a really good rate on this. So the reason is because we were willing to be flexible. So if somebody rents this thing, because they rent it, they get the thing, they get this, which means on Sunday, if they rent it all, we get one of the other ones. So it may just be more of the adventure. We get good, every place has tables and chairs, so that part's there. What they didn't have was handy bathrooms, and they also often have kitchens. They don't have very many outlets, because in the days when this was built, you only needed one per building. Well, maybe more than that, but this one, look at that, there's 6 right there by the coffee pots. We were just looking along this wall at the number of outlets, and to do tech, you can't plug everything into one. You can't run it off of an extension cord. It has to be separate circuits and separate outlets and separate. So to do what we're doing, because a lot of our people aren't here, they're out somewhere watching to do what we're doing, we can't send out glitchy stuff, just saying. And David has the Starlink, so he already tested it this morning, and he'll be able to run that from here, which means we go straight to a satellite, and it's less expensive than the one we had at the church, and just as fast. So figure how that works. We were in town, or next to town, and had something run cables out there, and we can do better plugging it in and running it out the back door here. Yeah. But it is kind of cool that the Lord's taken us in a direction that's we weren't really planning on, to be out at a camp or to do this. I didn't even know they had built this building. Last time I saw this thing was those other buildings. So this is cool. So here we are. Glad you guys made it, found it. Thanks for the signs out there on the road and up here at the entrance, so we could go, oh yeah, I'm on the right track. This is it. So. Pretty cool. Way to go, Julie. Yeah, that worked out good. We are going to look at some things out of Numbers 13 and 14. And 13 and 14 are numbers, so this is really weird. The book of Numbers, chapters 13 and 14. And we'll just jump around here, but what's happening here with the people of Israel, this is on their trip. They are traveling. They come out of Egypt. They've been 400 years in another country. And God is developing them into, from 70 people, now they've got 1 million people, and they're going to come into a new land of promise, land flowing with milk and honey. They're moving to this thing that God has designed for them, and they're coming out of Egypt, which was getting tougher on them. Slavery, Pharaoh had turned against them. It was tough. They wanted them to worship other gods, so this whole reconnection with Yahweh is unfolding, and they've headed out. They've already crossed the Red Sea. They've already seen God provide for them as they've traveled. They are camping as they go along in this time. They're being led by the Lord. The angel of the Lord actually comes down and leads them from place to place. They can see it. It's a pillar, and it's a cloud in the daytime, and it's a pillar of light at night. And so this thing is moving around, and the angel of the Lord's helping them out as this is unfolding. But they are camping, and they have built a tabernacle. We've got the tabernacle that David was talking about that is being referenced in John 1:14. So we've got the worship of Yahweh established, who's going to be the priest. We've got a whole lot of things put together. A number of things are coming together. Now we've got to go, in Numbers 14, we've got to go into the land. So that's where they are. They've come up to the southern border of Israel, and they have to go in. So they've left one place that they were used to, and then they camped, and then they're going to go into this new place. So we left a place that we were familiar with, wasn't Egypt, but Prague, it was Prague. We came here, we're camping. We're gonna find out where God's leading us, where we're headed next. So we don't know that yet. We don't have that part. But look at some of the things that they encounter as they get to this place. They've been taken, again, they've been cared for. And then they are going to send these spies, some people to go into the land and look it over. They pick out 12, and they pick somebody from each one of the tribes, and they're going to send them in, take a look at the land, see what it looks like, and Numbers 13 gives the whole list of these, starting in verse 4. Start giving the names. Here's one thing I would hate. How would you like to have your name associated with these guys? Your name, here's the tribe you represent, you're the guy, you go into the land, and then we'll talk about why that would be horrible to have your name associated with it for all time, and it's right there on the page. Don't be throwing Bibles and stuff. It's okay. All right. They're sent in. They have to go see this thing. They have to go check it out. And Moses gives them instructions. So he's got the 12. They're going to go into the country. And in verse 18 he says, see what the land is like. Find out whether the people living there are strong or weak, few or many. See what kind of land they live in. Is it good or bad? Do their towns have walls, or are they unprotected, like open camps? Is the soil fertile or poor? Are there many trees? Do your best to bring back samples of the crops you see. And okay, that sounds good. So they go in there, and they're checking it out from one end of Israel, what we know as Israel, Canaan, to the other. And they're going through the hill country. They go down by the sea. They go to the north. They're checking out all of the land. And you think, if you're just reading through the Bible, you go, well, shouldn't they know? Abraham was there. These guys all lived there. And you go, it's been 400 years. You tend to forget after 400 years. What is it like? And they couldn't go pull up Google. So it was nothing. They had to send these guys to go check it out. So they do. And they come back with a single cluster of grapes, it says in verse 23, so large that it took 2 of them to carry it on a pole between them. That's huge. A cluster of grapes. And they had pomegranates, figs. They found all kinds of things and so they bring them back and they go, man, this is nice. This has got a lot going for it. But then they start talking about who else they found. And in verse 27, we entered the land you sent us to explore, and it is indeed a bountiful country, a land flowing with milk and honey. And here's the kind of fruit it produces, and they showed that. But the people living there are powerful, and their towns are large and fortified. We even saw giants, the descendants of Anak. The Amalekites live in the Negev, and the Hittites, the Jebusites, the Amorites live in the hill country. The Canaanites live along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea and along the Jordan Valley. And they're going, oh, there's a problem. Caleb tried to quiet the people as they stood before Moses. Let's go at once. Take the land. We can certainly conquer it. So you just hear a report about these fortified cities that are oversized because there are giants in the land. And then Caleb's going, sure, let's go now. The rest of the people, however, are going, I don't think so. I don't want to go there. Their line is, we can't go up against them. They're stronger than we are. So they spread this bad report about the land among the Israelites. The land we traveled through and explored will devour anyone who goes to live there. All the people we saw there were huge. We even saw giants there, the descendants of Anak. Next to them, we felt like grasshoppers. And that's what they thought too. So, what in the world? It jumped down to 14, and he says, as they're having, they're whining about all this. Their voices, verse 2, their voices rose in a great chorus of protest against Moses and Aaron. If only we had died in Egypt or even here in the wilderness, they complained. Why is the Lord taking us to do this country only to have us die in battle? Our wives and our little ones will be carried off as plunder. Wouldn't it be better for us to return to Egypt? And then they plotted among themselves, let's choose a new leader. So let's just not go face those giants. Let's go do this other thing. And that happens with everything we do even today. So we're going to walk with Jesus. We just did that. We sold the church, by the way. And Dwight and I had signed the papers on Friday. Went in and ran into Darian and his wife Tyra as we were going in the waiting room. Talked to them, and they had a couple of meetings, in fact, in our church this last week with some of their different groups. They are announcing to the congregation today that they bought the property. So the church as a whole doesn't know until later. So they were trying to keep that all quiet in terms of, and it's their organization. Our group we have to vote on it. We do it different. We let you guys know what we were doing, and then we all engage in that. They don't do it that way. So they find out today. But they had a couple of meetings, so they had time to bring some of their leadership over, and they were so excited. In fact, let me read one of those. The meeting when we ran into Tyra, she had a women's meeting on Thursday night, and she was tearing up, telling us about how much that meant to her to meet in that room, and what just the sense that they've had being in that place has really grabbed them. So they had their meeting Monday night. Remember, we had to get set Sunday. We were moving a lot of stuff, cleaning a lot of stuff on Sunday afternoon to get this ready. What an incredible night we had last night. Thank you again for allowing us to use the facility. We prayed, celebrated, had tours, prayed again. So thankful for the partnership we've entered into together. Tyra watched GBC service from the last 2 weeks and was so moved by the prayer for YPC, Your Place Church, that if it's okay with you, I plan to show it to the team here. We love you guys. So, and a lot of others, because I get like 10 from him a day for the last few weeks, or from somebody in that church. Anyway, there's been a lot of things back and forth. So that's been cool. And then we move out. We're going to follow the Lord. So this whole thing that we've done, the Lord showed up in 2008. You remember there was just kind of an abandonment. People with bigger checkbooks left. And so there was an abandonment to whoever was left to keep that thing going. The Lord took care of it, provided all that time. And we were able to see him move in some really incredible ways, because there are times that look like we're not going to pay the bills, and then lo and behold. Right, Sherry? We paid the bills. She's less stressed right now because there's some money in the bank. So it's a different thing. But God showed up. But at the time, when we thought, okay, we're hitting it, we don't know if we're going to have enough money. So we asked the Lord about, what do we do? Should we sell it? Should we put it on the market? He said, no. He made it clear, you don't sell it. You wait till somebody comes, and they will knock on the door and they will ask to buy it. When that happens, it's time. That was Darian from next door. And he came and he said he was coming around the corner and it just struck him. He said he was just praying about some things, and they were going to rent some offices or something downtown prior. And he said, I should just go ask if they would ever think about selling, if they would think about selling to us. So he drove in, knocked on the door, asked. We're having coffee at a round table, and when he said the words, I went, I guess this is that day. So I got hold of the elders, and then we started down the process you guys have been through. So our moving out was a lot different than the thing Moses and the people of Israel went through. We didn't have to have 10 plagues. We didn't have Pharaoh to deal with. We just had a lot of moving, a lot of thinking, and a lot of planning to do. So it was a different process. But we made the steps in order to follow the Lord and go, where do you want us to go? What do you want us to do? What's next? How do we do this next thing that you have in mind for us? And it does take us on a journey. And that's why the GBC Discovery thing you've been seeing more stuck on different spots, because we're discovering. We're just discovering how many of those bins we need. We're discovering where we put Starlink. We didn't know if we needed Starlink. We didn't know if they had internet. If you're trying your phone out here, you may find out you don't have service. This place is in a hole. So Starlink solves that problem. God is just opening up doors in different ways, and we still have people out there who are, beyond our borders, who tune in, listen, and watch this thing, which is odd. The devotionals that go out, you guys read some of those. The country with the most readership outside of the U.S. is Sweden. Y'all know anybody from Sweden? I find that bizarre, but there you go. We don't know where the Lord's going to send stuff. So we just do what we're supposed to do. So that takes us back to this story with these, with the reports of there are giants. And you get this whole thing, and this is going to be hard. They have fortified cities, oversized fortified cities, and we've got to go in there and defeat them. And so, 10 of the spies, 10 of the men who went in, whose names are, that's why I would never want my name listed on chapter 13. Because only 2 of them said, we're going to trust God and go with this thing. You just go, I don't want to, my name's over there forever. So, and it's just not trusting the Lord for what he's going to do, where he's taking, what he has in mind. And everybody agreed, all of them when they came back, yep, it's a land flowing with milk and honey, which just means it's rich and productive and beautiful and wow. But there are giants. There are problems. What's going to happen with this situation? We're going to have problems. You can bet there are problems, and they're waiting around the corner for us. There's going to be issues. We got to show up here and set up tables, chairs, bring out, we got to do things that's different than we were doing before. That's not the big problem. But other problems will come up. And then the question is, well, why do we even leave? Why don't we go back and do that, what we were doing before? Because God said, don't do that, leave that, go follow me. But if we follow you, there are giants. Yep. And none of us want our names listed in chapter 13. So I go, no, I want to go, like Caleb. We can go now. Let's go take down the giants now. Let's just go now. So he's bringing this thing. I love this guy. They wander around because the result of this is they decided not to believe the Lord. They turned their back on him. They said, we're not going to go. And we want new leadership. And then God, that's not going to work for me. So I'm going to have something else for you to do. You get to wander in the desert until you all die off. Wow. All right. Then they rethought it, because this is how humans do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to rethink this. Now I'm willing to go in, because I don't want to go out and die in the desert. So now I'll go. And he says, don't go now, and Moses tells them, the Lord said he's not with you. You go fight the battle now. You're on your own. And they go. They do it. And they get beat. You go, well, yep. He said he would be with you, but you decided not to go. Now you want to go, and now he's not with you. Nope, y'all are going to go in the desert and die. That's the plan. So I think we follow him. Trust him. Face the giants. Go do whatever it is he says to go do. And just however that delivers itself. And if it comes to mind, we should just go back to the way we were. Just don't tell anybody. Just keep that to yourself, because the rest of us do not want to die. Just let's go take on the giants. Let's go do what he has for us to do, which we don't know yet, because he hasn't revealed that part of it. We just know he had us move from there for a reason, which we don't know yet exactly what all that is. And it's kingdom thing, so it's a bigger thing than just us. I think what Your Place Church does is God is working with them and for Pryor in a different way than he was with us. And the same thing for RHOP, for the Nazarene Church guys. Same thing for them. God is working with them in a different way. And so he's moving all the puzzle pieces or chess pieces around on the board, doing what he does to accomplish his purpose. And we, strangely enough, are the only ones that go, what? Sure, we'll just sell that building and go do something totally different. Like, just go camp out, like these guys did. That is really bizarre and strangely biblical. Okay, so we have a chance to go follow him and to take on, let's see some of these people, because this is really cool. We have, here's the list. They're still, when they go, they have the pillar of cloud by day, the pillar of fire by night. It's the Lord leading them. And he shows up and he does this for us. He's just willing to show up in just incredible ways, leading us in these different things. So he gives a list. If you guys see that, tell me where I'm looking. That is the giant list. Oh, here, the descendants of Anak, the Amalekites live in the Negev, Hittites, all of those guys. So we've got these giants. These are the sons who were. So Goliath is one. They live. They're along the shore. So he's part of that group. But these giants live in the land. They deal with them when they go up. As they do their wanderings, the Lord leads them into giant clans, and they have to start dealing with them as they go around to the east side of the land across the Dead Sea and the Jordan. The map's in my head. I wish I had an illustration. Can't show you right now. Anyway, the east side, they go up that side, and they're going to run into giants. And these guys are big. Og is big. He has, in some accounts, his iron bed is 15 feet long. And so they have the measurements on this thing. They have these, and they found these buildings with these giant doorways and walls. And you go, well, there aren't any, there really weren't any giants. It's mythology. And, we just don't have any evidence. In the museum, Israel Museum, saw this yesterday. Museum in Israel, they have the heads of spears, and this is along the coast where the Philistines would have been, and Canaanite towns. And a farmer was out there plowing, and his plow picked up just a whole bunch of these different spearheads, like something had gone on, battle or something right there. And I'll find that link and send that thing out to you. But he has normal spearheads that these guys with normal javelins would carry. And they might go 6 inches. And then they had bigger ones, 12, 13 inches. And you go, wow, that's something. Until they got to the bigger ones. And you go, holy moly. Would you like to be on the receiving end of a spearhead like that? Because when it talks about the giants and like Goliath, it's like a weaver's, what do we call that? big shaft thing.
Shuttle.
Shuttle. Is that a shuttle? I thought the shuttle was the thing that goes that way. Or a little bus. One of the, a beam, big giant beam. Okay, anyway, big giant thing, not, you know, not a little tiny spear like normal people would throw. They found them, they put them in the museum. The guy that's describing all this is one of those Bible guys on YouTube, but he's at the museum and he's taking pictures of it because it gives the dimensions, but it's at the back of the case. He said, so it sort of makes it look smaller, but if you follow the dimensions, and he cut it out in cardboard so you could see normal and the other sizes and then the bigger ones, and you're going, oh my gosh. That's the kind of stuff that these guys are carrying around. They're huge. And they have the houses, they have, and some of the dimensions of these giants when they, like King Og, and the Lord has them go in there and kill these guys because he's with them. They can take out the giants. If they're not, well, right after they decided we're going to go into the land, they're just facing normal people, not giants, and they get beat. He's just telling them it doesn't matter what size these guys are, you can take them because I'm with you. So the giants are there. Here's the deal with the giants. Those you find in Genesis 6, is ones we've been talking about. These are the remnants of the mighty men, the Nephilim, the ones who came after the flood. There were some before the flood, and part of the reason the flood came was because these needed to be destroyed, and the half-breed humans needed to be destroyed. After the flood, they reemerge. These are like fallen angels and human half-breed kind of hybrids. So these are oversized, giant, scary, and they are in the land. And there are a number of them. And they are worshiping their other gods. So the whole idea of demigods and other gods and all those things, these are connected to all of that. So God's sending Israel in to go, no, we're going to reclaim the land in the name of Yahweh. And we have to get rid of these others who are, they're destroying other normal people, for one. And they are, because they're so huge and powerful, people just go, sure, we'll go along with you. And God's saying, nope, we're going to take them out. And so that was their job, was to go into the land flowing with milk and honey to free people. I mean, they'd just been freed. Go free the other people from the giants. And they got scared and decided not to do it. This is a spiritual battle. It's not just a physical battle. They're worshiping other gods. They're going a different direction. The battle in the heavens is also unfolding at the same time that this is going on. Okay. You know what? This is so cool. I get extra time because we didn't even do music. All right. You made me think, get me out of here. Okay. Let me take you over to, mainly because I think this is so cool. I think it's 5. This is in Judges 5 that I'm going to, if you want to check that. And the reason for this, there we go. Okay, in 5:20. So Judges, this is the time they've actually entered into the land. They've dealt with, they've killed a bunch of giants by this point, by the way. Remember, Caleb is the one who said, let's go in now, we can take the giants. And he has to wait 40 years all the way around. They fight giants, they've taken them out. Caleb and Joshua. Joshua's leading the whole thing. Caleb's like number 2 right there, taking these things on. This dude is 80 years old, 80-something years old when this is happening. When they get to the point, they divide up the land and say, okay, you get this part, you get that part. Caleb said, give me the hills, because they still had giants on them. everybody else is going, no, thanks, I'll take that one over there with the ocean view. And he goes, give me the hill. I'm going to take out the giants. Give me the hill. So Moses said, sure. You're 80? Yeah. Go take them on. He does. So they get rid of a bunch of them. They don't get rid of all of them. There's still some around, because we got Goliath and David. And so there's still some around. But in Judges, that's after Joshua passes away and the country is just in chaos. There's divided things going on among the tribes of Israel, all up and down the land. And Deborah steps up and says, okay, let's go into battle. She gets Barak to help with this thing, who was a little scared, but she goes, takes this thing on. But in Judges 5, and it gets the whole story of how this battle is won, and the land is free for 40 years, and they have peace. And so it's really cool. But you may not have seen what's in 20. And Sisera is the name of the other king who's leading this battle, who's leading people away from God. And so the whole idea is we've got to get people back, and these guys are fighting us because we want to honor Yahweh. And so it's a spiritual battle. Almost every time you read these things, you go, well, it's just a physical battle. It's just lucky that they won. They're just fortunate that they had some good warriors on their team. Kind of. And then you get something like 20. That says, the stars fought from heaven. The stars in their orbits fought against Sisera. And you go, well, that's weird. Stars don't fight. Stars are just little twinkly things in the sky. But not in the scripture. Not in Canaanite religions. Not in Mesopotamian literature. Not in their thinking. The stars represent the spiritual beings. The ones in the heavens. Some of them are fallen. Some of them are on God's side. It's a but that when it says stars, you've got a whole different thing going on. You pick it up in Job. It's also it's in the scriptures. It's in all the writings, ancient writings. So you get to 520, you go, that's just weird. It just says the stars are fighting. Well, that's just bizarre because they don't fight. Yeah, they do. When those beings are battling. What are they battling? They fought from heaven, because not only is the battle going on the ground, it's going on in the heavens. And in the heavens, this thing is unfolding because Yahweh is going to be elevated. God is going to be known. God is going to be the one worshipped. And there are other beings, supernatural beings, who want to stop that. And so this is happening on the ground with Sisera and with Deborah and Barak. But here this other battle is happening in the heavens and in the spiritual realm, the unseen realm around us. And then you get that. The stars fought from heaven. The stars in their orbits fought against Sisera. You go, wow. So this is still the land. They've just gotten into the land. They're still fighting these other beings. They're still trying to elevate the Lord. There are enemies opposed to them and coming after them and making it difficult. So why tell you crazy stuff like that? Because everything we're doing will create a ripple in the heavens, and there will be beings who are going to come after you. They will come after this group, and they will try to take you down. And you go, I don't know, I'm just so aggravated with my husband, my wife, that kid, the government, the situation. I can't believe any sort of thing like this would ever happen. I can't believe. And you'll come up with all that, and you go, 6 months ago I didn't think that. 2 years ago I didn't think about that. And all of a sudden you're short-tempered, you're angry. You can't believe God would let you down in any such way. And you go, where's even that kind of stuff coming from? The stars are fighting. The stars want to tear you down. They want to bring fear. They want to bring regret. They want to bring memories. They want to give you anything you're looking at in the future. And you go, well, that can't work. And this church is doing stupid stuff. Yeah, if you're evaluating it on the basis of how people do it in this world, you betcha. If you're evaluating on the basis of God leading, not hardly. Because God is doing something that will rattle the cage of the beings that are around us in the unseen space. And I'm just giving you a heads up. You got a target on you for just being here. So when you notice those emails that say pray for each other, pray for GBC, I'm not kidding. That's not a nicety. We're in a battle. Those enemies are there. They want to trip you up. They want to tear you down. They want to make sure that whatever happens at work, as many frustrations as you can possibly have. And they're watching because they want to see, how do you respond to frustration? How do you respond when things don't go your way? What if the doctor tells you something you don't want to hear? What if your car doesn't start tomorrow? What if in the cold weather your tires are low? And oh my gosh, it must be the end of the world, and you just get mad and throw fit, and they're going, yep, that's all we needed. We just wanted to see you go down the tube. We'll throw you something tomorrow so you can go down the tube some more. And every day after that. And once they see that door's opening, they'll just keep cramming stuff in. Or you can say, you know what? Like Caleb, let's take on the giants now. Let's just not put up with it. Because he's worth it. So we're going to fight. And we're going to stand up against that. And we're going to find out where he wants us to go and be what he wants us to be, wherever that is. In whatever situation that might be. Right now we're camping. The land is waiting for us. The promised land is waiting for us, which is something else. But also, if we just go straight from here to heaven, it ain't bad. So we can take that one too. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So we get to be a part of whatever this thing is. And Eric's happy. The camp people are happy. And I kind of like it. I hope you guys like this whole thing. We'll know more next week what we're doing, which will be part of the discovery. And we're just working on that to see where God would use us. But the things that will alter the world and the things that are needed in the world can actually happen in the spiritual realm by a group of people no larger than this, beginning right here. And it can change the things that happen in D.C. and Congress and the White House. It can change the things that happen in Russia, India, China, right here. But because people don't believe it, they don't get to see it. I believe it. If you believe it, we can see it happen right here. We can change some things that need to be changed. And we can fight some battles to save some people. And with Caleb, we'll go take on those giants. Go do what he said. Let's pray, and then we'll spend some time. You can wander around, go see some stuff. Oh, we have to gather money? I forgot about it. We better pray. I'll pray first, and we'll gather money. Father, thanks for that. There's just so many things that you're doing. They're just amazing, and appreciate you coming in and gathering us up, bringing us to this place, opening the door to this place we hadn't even really planned on, in order to make a stand, to stand against the giants, to bring your truth, your love, your grace into this world in ways that others sort of miss. And if we can help them, Lord, show us how we can do that too. And I pray for this bunch as we gather together, Lord, that we would experience the fullness of your grace, your presence with us. I pray that you would protect them as they go out, as they are in their home alone, as they are with each other, with others in at work or school or in the marketplace or wherever they might be. Lord, that you would protect them. Protect them from the evil one, from the schemes of the devil. The battles will be on. And I pray, Lord, that your protection would be present, that your Spirit would guide and bring the fruit that you desire in each life. Guide us, Lord, as we meet here and also as we prepare to go wherever else you may lead us. Thank you for this. In Jesus' name, amen.